Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Walking with Christ podcast. Today is part 2 of 5 when it comes to what we are discussing, what we are getting into, everyone, when it comes to the gospel. And we're going to go through a few more scriptures today, but again, I just wanted to welcome you in, and I'm so glad that you joined today to be able to really just continue to get deeper and deeper into the gospel and what it could mean for us and what we should take from it to share with others, because that's what the gospel's meant to do. Again, with it being the good news, it's not meant for us to keep and hold to ourselves. No, it's meant for us to share with others. So I encourage you to do so. I encourage you, as you're listening, to open up your heart, to open up your mind, to be able to receive what God has for you, to let it continue to allow it to shape you and potentially even transform you into who you are meant to be. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, everybody. We're going to start off with Romans 1:16. So it says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, because it is the power of God that brings salvation to everyone who believes, first to the Jew, then to the Gentile." The important thing with the gospel, everyone, is that you believe. And it's not one of those things that it can be a half-hearted belief. No, that may be something that really paints the picture to us that, hey, we got a lot of work to do in our faith. But it's one of those things when we're not seeing what the gospel should mean to us and how it should speak to us and how it should resonate in so many ways through us, that just tells you that, hey, you have some room to grow in your relationship. And for most people, that could be a lot of room. We don't know what that is. All we know is that we just need to continue to follow him and to let him guide us throughout our life and be open to receive it. I say this a couple times for a reason, because when we are living that life, when we are walking with Christ, if you're not open to receive it, you're only open to receiving certain aspects of it, but not everything that comes with walking with Christ in that way. It comes to understanding how important the gospel is, and one, what you hold to be true and what you share with others as well, then that can really cause us to stumble throughout our walk even more so. So, as it says in Romans 1:16, bring salvation to everyone who believes. Let's continue on. And let's kind of go back, way back into the Old Testament, with the first book in Genesis, and hit a scripture there, that being Genesis 1, chapter 1, 1 through 2. And it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters." And, another scripture that even goes along with this that I'm going to hit on in Deuteronomy 10:14, "To the Lord your God belong the heavens, even the highest heavens, the earth and everything in it." Both these scriptures correlate to one important thing that we talk about loosely. I don't know if we really understand the magnitude of this, but the fact that God is everywhere, within us, around us. God is everywhere. And what that should mean to us is, that means he is seeing us. He is with us. He is experiencing these things alongside us as we go through them. And we are all here for a reason, and those different reasons and the things that happen throughout our lives in those particular seasons, those things are happening with Him being present with us. Now, the thing that we have to also take in consideration is that how much He is with us is one thing. How much we allow Him to be within us is a choice. And if He's around us and you're only letting Him in your life in certain circumstances, if you're not allowing yourself to build a relationship with Him in ways to where His guidance of you, His direction to you as far as what you need to be doing, how you need to be doing it, what you should be living for, if that doesn't feel like a connection that you really want, a connection that you take in every aspect of what it's meant to be, those things are not going to transpire in you and around you as they could. You have to make a choice of how much you don't just want Him around your life, but how much you want Him in your life. And if you want Him in your life, how you're going to allow that to take shape through you throughout your life. If it's only going to be but so much, as I mentioned in previous videos, then what He is going to be able to do through you, with you, is going to be limited. But He is everywhere. Everything around us He created. I could tell you the times where I have traveled or just been in different random places, and I just noticed the magnitude of what God has created around us. Sometimes I'll just get in the straight gaze and I'll just be just looking around me, for who knows how long. And I'll lose track of time sometimes. And it happens that same way when things are happening within me, within people around me. And I'm just seeing how God is operating in certain people, especially when they're allowing them. I tell you, that's an amazing thing to witness. And the more I witness it, the more I'm just so appreciative of how God can make things happen with us if we allow Him the space for those things to exist within us. Let's continue on. We're going to be looking at, for everyone that is following along, 1 John chapter 3 verse 20. And this is what it says, everyone. If our hearts condemn us, we know that God is greater than our hearts, and He knows everything. And with that, everyone, if our hearts are connected to Him, we start to feel love in ways that you possibly never felt in your life until that point. But we also know if our heart is with Him, then it's just one of those things. We talk about conviction, and there's been times in my life, and maybe yours, to where I know when I'm in a place to where I shouldn't be there, or I shouldn't be conducting myself in a certain way. That conviction sets in. That conviction is a constant reminder to me, to tell me this is not how you should be operating. And that conviction exists even more so because you have a heart that is connected with God. And that heart that is connected with God will always nudge you, will always give you that inclination, no matter what your flesh is excusing and justifying and putting you in a place mentally and emotionally to accept things that aren't of the will of God, aren't of what you're supposed to be doing in God. And it's important because it's a truth that we have to deal with. You stand on truth. When you do that, when you stand on truth, you don't have to be concerned with living a lie. So that's important. I'm going to say it again. When we stand on truth, we don't have to be concerned with living a lie. So you need to make sure you're standing on truth. And it's not the truth that is shaped and molded around us that is related to what the flesh, what the things that exist on this earth see to be true. You can feel however you want to feel about that. But for me, for a person who walks with God, that walks with Christ, the truth is the word. The truth is something that takes shape in my life as a result of my relationship with God. And you have to make sure you're aligned. You are seeking, you want that truth. And wanting that truth means that you have to deal with yourself. But when you want the truth, when you want a relationship with God, and that's the most important thing to you, dealing with yourself is just a part of it. Not an easy part, right? Not an easy part, but it's still part of it. And the more you deal with that part of it, the more that you build upon that part of it, the more you want that part of it to exist in a way that pleases God, the more you are starting to move along in your walk with Christ. And that's what you should want. You should want that for yourself. You should want that for your relationship with Him. Because it's only to that and through that you are going to become the most meaningful version, the best version, the continued journey to be what you are meant to be in this life. You ain't got to wait for this and that and the fourth to come your way. Go His way and everything else will come unto you. And that's important. We're going to get to the last scripture, and it's in Psalm 34, verse 3. Glorify, listen everyone, glorify the Lord with me. Let us exalt His name together. We're one under Him. It's not just what I'm doing, what I'm saying, what I'm communicating to you in this form with Walk with Christ, but it's what you're doing. And I don't want it to be a thing where we're doing it in a silo type of situation. This is something that we need to do together as a community under Christ. That's why it's called Walk with Christ. Because it's just not about just my walk. It's about our collective walk. We each have what we're meant to do along that journey. But I want what's meant for you, what's true to what God has for you, to be what you are doing. You need to want that too. And we can all exalt His name together. Exalt His name together. I can tell you, in the choirs that I've been a part of, in the Bible studies, in the different, church teams that I've been a part of, the different churches as a whole that I've been a part of, when we are there to glorify the Lord, take what we need to do out amongst the world, and we are doing it in the world as well. But whether we're together or whether we're out doing the work, the times in life where I felt most connected with my relationship with God is when I'm doing things that are focused on Him and not anything else, that are focused on how I'm working in that relationship with whomever, and it's done to His glory. The effort that is being put forth for something is done to His glory. No matter what I'm spending my time doing, and I'm spending that time to His glory. It's not about how I personally get something out of it. No. It's not exalt my name. It's exalt His name. And when that really, truly, genuinely becomes what's most important to you, exalting His name in everything that you do, every place that you find yourself to glorify that. There's a difference between saying that and being that. And people can tell the difference, but more importantly, God can tell the difference. And that's what should order our steps. Get closer with Him, everyone. The status of your relationship today with Him, if it needs growth, grow in it. Surround yourself with brothers and sisters who are going to continue to encourage you to walk that walk that is important for what you are meant to do every day. But you got to do the fundamental things. You got to stay in your word. You have to stay in prayer. When it's time for you to fast, you fast. And you make time to build up yourself through God. Sharing the gospel is such an amazing thing to be able to do for someone in their walk. While we have to continue to remember, we have to make sure that we're personally, each and every single one of us, staying connected to the gospel as well. So everyone, definitely thankful you showed up, chimed in, checked into this video as far as, again, part 2 of 5. We have 3 more videos to go in this short series of the gospel. And I just want you to continue to join in. If you join in, if you feel led to share with somebody, please feel free to share with somebody. I just want those that are out there to be able to hear about Christ, have a moment with Christ, grow in their own walk with Christ. And if they're not sure about Christ, for them to be able to hear about it through this means or some other means. May start by you sharing it. May start by you sharing another one. As you can see, it's not about whether my video gets pumped up, my channel gets pumped up. That's not what's most important to me. What's most important to me is that God is being presented to people, being shared with people. And fellowship is happening one way or another as far as how it glorifies God with people. So that's what we're doing here. That's what it's about. And I just want you to be able to take that journey yourself, and anything that I can do to be able to help along in that journey, whether it's through this video or through a topic that you would like to be covered, share. This is about God. This is about making sure we're doing everything we can to glorify Him and please Him in our walk. And I just want to make sure I'm doing my part in that. And my part in that is to honor Him with it. And I'm going to keep on trying to do that. And I just encourage you to do the same. But thank you for joining again. And I don't say it too often, but I will say it in this one. If you want to see these type of videos, and for others as well that are doing these type of videos, continue to gain traction, please like, share, subscribe, and we'll continue to grow this community together. And I thank you again for joining in, and I'll see you on part 3, everyone. God bless.